Hi friends, welcome to my first drawing class. Not my first class, but my first class on live Instagram for kids. Obviously I teach kids for a living, so. Just to give people a couple minutes to join, I'm going to talk about the supplies that we'll use. Pencil. I'm gonna use a regular number 2 pencil. And then I'm gonna have an eraser handy. I dropped mine. An eraser handy, just a pink one. This is fine. Sharpie. And this can be, if you have a marker set, you can use just a regular black magic marker as well. And then I have a pencil sharpener just in case. Or an extra pencil is fine too. So this is not going to take the full hour, most likely. And feel free to, when we are done drawing it, color it with either crayons or colored pencils. Either one is totally fine. Markers work, pastels, whatever you have. So we're gonna do this simple breakdown piece here. Our little fox is going to start in just really basic shapes. I have some measurements on here, but you don't have to follow those, or you can approximate them. So let's just start by drawing a circle, okay? About 2 inches down from the top, if you can figure out what 2 inches looks like. It's just gonna be a circle. And look, mine is pretty light. I'm gonna actually grab a different pencil so you guys can see a little better. But you guys use whatever pencil you want to. Okay. Okay, so it's a circle, does not have to be perfect by any means. Second shape is kind of a teardrop shape. Again, does not have to be perfect. We're gonna go over it with marker later, and there's always the option to fix things that you think don't look right. Like I might make this a little wider. I always like to fix my mistake and then erase the mistake, because it's too easy to sometimes make the same mistake twice. So now I'm going to erase the lines in between these two shapes, okay? So the head and the body become one. You can leave a little bit on either side here. Now I'm going to add my favorite part of the fox, the ears. Actually, my favorite part of a fox might be their tail. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, now we have some ears. And that's okay, they're overlapping right now. We're gonna draw another circle here inside the first circle. Okay, and now, this is a little bit of a tricky part. Remember, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are good because they help us learn how to not make them in the future, right? So those are the legs. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see that for a second. Okay. Oh, I realize it says donations here. That is definitely not required or even encouraged. This is for free. Donations are always gonna go for these classes to either a charity doing something to help people during this crisis. These particular donations are going to go to help rescue an animal. And I will tell you more about that if we can make it happen. And if I don't use them for that purpose, I will use them for a food bank in LA. All right, that's enough time for the legs. Now we're going to add another oval. This is just an oval. It looks crazy because it overlaps so many other lines, but don't think too much about it. Just put an oval right there in between this right leg and the side of the body. I don't know if it looks like, it might be backwards. It's okay. All right, so now for the next step, we're gonna erase some stuff. Erase all the lines between the ears and the head, both ears. Erase parts of this oval that we just drew, including inside of it. And if you can still see your lines, it's okay. It's hard to draw lightly. I don't know why it's so hard, but it is. Okay, and now erase the top of this circle as well. Okay, so next, let's start the tail, okay? Oh, I forgot a little bit here. And if you find yourself erasing a line that you still want to be there, like this one, that's fine. Obviously, I can still see it, so draw it in there. And, oh, these guys too. The third step usually involves a lot of erasing because we're starting to get into the details more. Okay, now we're going to start the tail. Another oval right here, okay? And then another one on top of it. But this one is going to be more like a teardrop, like the first big shape we drew there. Okay. Feet. Our fox needs some feet for sure. These are little ovals. Make sure on the right side of the left leg they are touching, and on the left side of the right leg. If that's confusing, I'm gonna put this up again for you to come back and look at anything you missed or anything you want to check out again, or if you want to draw the fox again, super cool to do that. It's fun to see how they change. All right, now let's add a nose. And then to draw the mouth, just draw a little bit of a line connecting to the circle that we have there. And as you can see, it starts to create the mouth. I like to add a little bit more of a bottom lip there and then erase that line in there. What else do we have here? So now my ears can go a little bit into the head. Then I'm going to draw just a little line inside my ear there and one inside this ear here. And eyes. Okay, so to draw eyes and to keep them, eyes are hard, right? So you can, if you have one, use a ruler or another piece of paper or whatever. I'll show you how to do that. Or you can use a pencil if you have two pencils, or maybe you have your Sharpie here. Anything that's a straight line, really, okay? This, I'm just gonna draw a line, let's say 1/2 inch above the nose. Just really super lightly. This one, make sure you try to make it really light, okay? And then I'm gonna draw 2 dots on that line. And that'll guarantee that we don't have a lopsided little face or anything. Okay, now we can erase the line for the most part, all right? And let's erase the lines inside the tail and between the feet and the legs. Let's erase those. Okay, now in our very last box, we're just going to add a couple details. Okay, so one of those is going to be the shape of the face. So let me show you again what this final fox looks like. There. So his shape is, the shape of the face is a little bit more of a square shape than what we have right now. So all we have to do really is go like this and like this. It's gonna look like he has hair for now. And then let's just connect it to the body. Now we can erase. We erase the old circle. And let's make our tail a little more smooth here, just for fun. Okay, and now we can add some toes on his paws. Just little loops, okay? And over here as well. And on the back paw, we can see a couple of his feet. Or one of his feet, a couple of the little toes. Okay, so now let's, I don't want this line here. And I think it's time to use our Sharpie or marker, whatever you've got. I'm gonna use this Sharpie here and go over my lines. So basically just look and take all the time you need to do this part. Look at what lines you want to be there and what you don't, because there are some that might still show up, especially if you had a darker pencil like mine. It may still be present. Okay. My ears changed. I'm going fast. You don't have to go this fast, of course. And you can, I believe that you can rewind a live video while it's happening. I could be wrong about that. But I think you can. So if you need to, do that, please. Okay, oh, the tail. I'm gonna change my tail a little bit because I want it to be a little more fun. Okay, so if you feel like making your tail like that and you can rewind the video, you can always do that with pencil instead. And while you are finishing your outline, I'm going to start erasing my lines. I have to... Okay. And if you're just joining right now, this is the very first online live kids drawing class. I am, in my professional life, an art teacher to children and adults, but I work in an elementary school 3 days a week in LA. This is actually an assignment I'm giving to my students right now for distance learning. So I thought I would use it here too, because it's real cute. Okay. So now, if you only had a pencil and a pen, or one or the other, then this is what you have, right? You drew this. And if you have colors of any kind, I'm gonna color my nose black right now. Right now. Okay, if you have those colors, I'm gonna use crayons because they are just so fast. And I used colored pencils in this one, so I think I'm just gonna change it up. I will put this one right here so we can see. No, put them right here so we can see, sort of. I'll tape it, all right. And okay, so let's start with a lighter orange. Most, I think, crayon packages have 2 different ones, and apparently 3. Wow, I don't know now. I have orange, orange, and yellow orange. I'm gonna use orange, yellow orange. So now, let's draw a line with the crayon, okay? The top of the ear, both ears, and connecting that to the line we drew inside the ear. A line going like this, across the head, from the middle of the ear to the head. And then from this little tippy point here, all the way over to the nose, okay? And again, boom. So what else? Oh, the chest. The fox's chest is gonna stay white, because that's what they look like. And I like to do this little, like, kind of looks like a Christmas tree shape. And, oops, that is going to be his belly. Where else is white on this fox? The tip of the tail, right. I heard you say that in my head. Okay, so now, color. A good way to remember where to color is to outline your shape. I had a job where we called this fencing. but that always reminded me of like sword fighting. Okay, so we are going around all the parts that are going to be orange. Basically, now I know that this shape, everything that's protected by this outline, is going to be orange. And down here, it's a little more complicated. There's a lot more area. So I'm just gonna focus on coloring up here. Okay, and you probably know how to color, but when I teach coloring, I like to say, slow down, because it's easy to go too fast. We want that fox to be orange. We want him to look cool, right? Slow down. Try to get all the white spots and don't push too hard, especially if you're using crayon or colored pencil, because the buildup on the paper, when you get too much of this color, it can actually resist the next color. And we're gonna do some shadows because this is a professional fox drawing. No matter how old you are making a professional drawing. Okay, I forgot to draw some lines here. The head, just draw one here, right from the bottom of the head to the other side, right? And then all this is gonna be orange as well. I'm not gonna fence this one because I'm lazy, I guess. And because I think you probably know, you probably understand what's happening here, right? And if not, feel free to ask questions. I can see questions and or rewind the video. Okay, so I'm gonna, as you can see in this one, the legs are brownish black. I'm gonna go over that right now with orange because actually foxes have a lot of layers of different colors of fur. And if you were to have a fox that would allow you to look at their fur, which you probably do not and should not, because they're not good pets, you'd be able to see that beneath even the black and brown in the legs, there's probably some orange or white because they have layers to keep them warm and to shed when it gets hot. All right, so I'm almost done coloring with the orange. Everybody doing okay? That is so awesome. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing it. And this one, you know, it depends on age for sure, how easy this is gonna be because of general motor skills, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. Anyone can draw this, I think, from kindergarten to middle school, and anyone beyond that can draw it, obviously. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now let's find you should have in your crayon or marker or colored pencil pack, maybe a red orange or a red. And let's see. This will be saved on the feed for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of thought I might go a little fast, but unfortunately I have learned in these videos that it will cut us off and delete the video if I do it over a certain amount of time. So I'm trying to stay within that time. But yes, absolutely it'll be saved. Thank you for asking. So now I'm going to do some of this red, orange, or red, whatever you got. Just in certain parts of the fox. Definitely on the sides of the face. We're gonna do some inside the ears. Some on top of the head. And I'm just coloring right over. I'm gonna go right down the nose here. Right over here. Kind of sounds like Ave Maria is playing in the background. Which brings me back. Okay. Then under the head, because this is going to act as a shadow down here and not just a tone of the fur. Okay. More down here on the side. And you know, another way that I like to sometimes do shadows is to outline where they're going to be. And I don't know if you can see this one here, but we can draw a little circle like this and then just color this part orange. And that's our shadow. Pretty cool. Oops, I went outside the line. And I don't care. And I don't care if my students go outside the lines. That does not matter to me, and it doesn't make you a good or bad artist, whether or not you do or don't do that. Okay, and let's do a little bit over here. Just a line alongside that left leg. Then maybe just lightly color in the chest area here. Not the white part, but just the part that's already orange. And now, okay, we're almost done, friends. Let's find brown. If you don't have brown, black. Okay, lightly color the legs. And at this point, if you're using crayon, it's starting to get a little thick, which is totally fine. Remember just not to press too hard, or try not to press too hard. I know it's not always in our control. We can't always help it. Okay. Great. Let's do some on the ears too. Foxes tend to have, well, red foxes, excuse me, tend to have darker ears. Okay. Yeah. All right, and you know, I did a little bit of brown in between my dark orange and light orange. It's like he or she has eyebrows. And your fox can be whatever you want, boy or a girl, or neither, or both. Okay, a little bit of brown underneath the head for a shadow, okay? We're almost done, friends. A little there, and a little in the tail. Okay, now let's do the fun part. Let's find the lightest brown that you have. I mean, blue, guys, it's blue, okay? Find the lightest blue that you have. And in the ears, right against that line, do a little shadow, okay? Right here. Why are we doing that? Because the white fur will reflect a color, okay? And blue is just the color that sometimes happens to show up as shadows on white, because white reflects whatever colors are around it when there's light, which there is. I'm gonna do a little bit here, a little bit here, and then some in this part, the chest that we left white, okay? Just do a few little lines. And let's do some on the tail, a little shadow there, okay? Now, gonna find my black. Nope, that's not black. You know what, I don't know where my black is, so I'm gonna get a black colored pencil. And hey, that's something you can do as well if you want. You can mix colored pencils and crayons. Generally, colored pencils go on crayons a little better than the other way around, but hey, experiment, figure it out. If you mess it up, that's fine, do it again, or don't. I'm gonna sharpen it a little bit, okay. All right, so I'm gonna take my black, and where I have my brown, I'm just gonna make an even darker shadow. I can see that the color part is falling out of my pencil, but that's fine for now. Okay, so just, no. Oh no, I lost it. All right, let's do it again. So we're just gonna add a little bit of black with a black crayon or colored pencil to wherever we have our darkest brown. So I did a little bit under here. I'll do a little more once I get this sharpened. Apparently this is a bad pencil sharpener. And then some here. Okay. No. Okay, well, you know, in this case, I'm gonna just find a different pencil because that's real annoying. Okay, now here and here. Okay. Let's do a little bit back here. And then, oh yeah, I was gonna make this one a little darker. Great. And then up here, I'm gonna actually just color over the brown lightly with my black colored pencil. Add some texture. And if you don't know what texture is, it is making something look the way that it feels when it comes to drawing and coloring. Like we want to add the texture of fur. So what fur feels like, we'll try to make it look like that. And same on the legs. And you can just do some little light lines to make it look like fur. Okay, let's just add one more thing before we're done. I'm going to find my light blue again and a purple, okay? Or violet, whatever. I'm gonna add a circle just under my fox, okay? Just because I want it to look like he's sitting on something, ground, a surface. Maybe he's on snow. Maybe he's on, I don't know, a cloud. Whatever you'd like. Okay, then right between the fox and the rest of the blue, I'm just gonna add a little purple because that is the part of the ground that would be darkest since he is closest to it. And you can look at your shadow, inside or outside, wherever there's some light, and see how dark it is when it's next to your foot versus how light it is when it gets further away from you. And I would urge you to do that sometime. If you have a yard you can go out in with your parents or in a light part of your house. Definitely check with your parents before you go outside because the world is very strange. Okay, and then by parents I mean whatever adult you live with. Okay. And now I'm putting some purple in my blue. Wow, weird. Just a little bit, just to show some darker parts, okay? And hey, I'm gonna put some over here too, for fun. I'm gonna put a little bit in the ears. And I think this guy is pretty much done. I might add a little more blue in the white parts if I want. And I think he's done. All right. So, anyone who wants to can try this again. Hopefully the live video will save right now and it'll be up in a minute or two. If not, it'll be up later today for sure, and I'll post and let you know what it does. I don't always know what's gonna happen, but thank you very much. I really appreciate you tuning in, and next week I will have another drawing for kids.